Hello and welcome back to another video. Unfortunately, today we are going to be talking about how AI is officially infiltrating our reviews on Amazon, and this is not a good thing. So if this is a topic you're interested in hearing more about, stay tuned because I'm going to give examples and give you the tools you need to figure out if you are being review bombed by AI bots. This is very, very, very bad. So we will be diving into how to recognize AI. Now, the purpose of an AI bot, I'm not even really sure what the benefit is with this. I'm not sure if it's someone setting up a bot to leave reviews on items they've purchased. I'm not sure if it is a bot that is just out there trying to gain notoriety with reviews on Amazon. I know some people eventually get paid to leave reviews on Amazon, but I'm not sure what the point of this would be. Here's an example of a review I got. They had a human name and now it's just a pig emoji. This has changed overnight. So I'm not sure what's going on with this account, but this is something to where this is an AI bot leaving a review. I have to say that I often don't read reviews because they can be toxic to our mental health as authors. Sometimes it is really beneficial to read and see what people are saying, but a lot of times, especially with me doing YouTube, sometimes I will just get trolls leaving bad reviews and it is just not a fun time. Often where I find my most valuable feedback is with beta groups, which if you are familiar with the channel, I've talked about them before and we will talk about them in the future. They're a great way to get really, really critical feedback about your book and how to perfect it before it goes out to the world. Now, I do want to say a 3-star review isn't necessarily a bad review, but this 3-star review does bother me because it's AI written and it does not fully give readers or potential readers a look at the book. So I'm going to go ahead and let you know this is for my book, Save the Ocean. Save the Ocean is intended for around, I would say 5 to 7-year-olds. So it is a younger book. It's often taught in preschools and early elementary education. This book is used globally for teaching purposes, and I am absolutely honored to have had such success with Save the Ocean. So this is a review that just came in for me. I haven't checked reviews in a while. As you can see, this came in March, but I just happened to look at reviews last night. And this says, the message is clear, but too simplistic even for young readers. I wholeheartedly agree that avoiding plastic bags is one important way to save the oceans. The message is clear and crucial. Plastic bags, among the top offenders in marine pollution, pose a significant threat to marine life and ecosystems. However, I think the author missed to put more emphasis on avoidance over recycling. This is where my first red flag went up while reading this, because the book is absolutely about avoiding plastic bags. So I was a little bit confused on that sentence, as well as it's really well written besides that sentence, as well as the first time that it's grammatically incorrect. So I was a little confused of what was happening here. So it continues to say, while recycling is often touted as a solution, the reality is that only a small percentage of plastic bags are recycled. This is totally true, which is why this book does not say to recycle plastic bags. It does say to instead use reusable bags. So it continues, the process is energy intensive and the end products are often of a lower quality and not always recyclable. Again, that's totally true. Avoidance, on the other hand, cuts the problem off at its source, significantly reducing the potential for pollution and harm to ocean life. Again, I totally agree. That's what the book's about. So this is, again, raising red flags of this person didn't read this book, because there is a one line This book is only 500 words. So there is a line where it says, Kalisha presents the idea of, oh, wow, maybe we could use reusable bags instead of plastic bags. So this is big red flags going off in my head of what the heck is this review? It says, however, the book does not fully explore the complexities of this issue or the breadth of potential solutions beyond avoiding plastic bags. So this, again, counteracts their previous paragraph because it does say that there is a potential solution of avoiding plastic. So what they just complained about, this sentence absolutely flips that script, which is confusing. And of course, this is a children's book aimed for children who are just getting into reading. So this is something that, of course, I'm not going to go into the complexities of recycling. That's just absolutely absurd. And I get this criticism a lot with the children's books from adults who read the children's books. But this is something to where it's the very first introduction. This is often used as the very first book that people are introduced to when we're talking about the idea of what is reusing. What does reuse mean? What does recycle mean? And it's the very first step into this world of recycling. So it is a very basic look because this is intended for very young children. It says, while I understand that targeting a young audience necessitates simplicity, I want to see deeper engagement or suggestions for actionable steps children and their family can take. This book actually does have suggestions for actionable steps that their children and families can take. So again, I was a little confused there. This inclusion could empower readers further, providing them with a broader toolkit for environmental stewardship. And that is just a word cluster I'm just a little bit just unsure of what would a broader toolkit for environmental stewardship look like for somebody who is about 6 years old? So this is something that the book does suggest. And I'm open to criticism. I am. I have had a lot of criticism of Save the Ocean. It has changed a little bit over the years. And this is something to where I want to read a review and really, I take them all seriously. Every review, from a 5-star review that is as simple as love it to a 1-star review that points out issues they had. Unfortunately, most of my 1-star reviews are printing errors and are Amazon's fault, to where they got books pages out of order, things of that sort, and then they didn't realize they got a bad copy and left a bad review. But I do take them all seriously because obviously, I'm an author. I want to improve. I want to make sure every single Save the Earth book is better and better and better and better. So this was a little bit frustrating to read because I felt like it was counteracting itself. But this is the word where I absolutely knew I was reading an AI comment. It says, moreover. Who the heck in a children's book review says, moreover, well, I found the illustrations charming and engaging, which is a direct quote from my description of my book. They said, I guess that real images of a coral reef, for example, would show far better the beauty of marine environments to young readers and would be far more interesting than simple drawings. Again, this very sentence counteracts absolutely everything because we're saying the illustrations are charming and engaging, pulling from my item's description. Then they guess, I guess, that images of a coral reef would be better. Okay, this is a illustrated children's book. I'm not going to be using real photos in a book that's illustrated. That completely counteracts. At this point, I'm like, oh, they just want me to rewrite the entire book as an adult book with real pictures and real in-depth analysis of our recycling program and how, largely awful the process is and how much waste there still is even with recycling, which is why I agree with them that avoidance is one of the better ways to go. So I was just confused at this point, and then it would be far more interesting than simple drawings. And I'm like, wait, you're saying my drawings are simple? That sucks because hand drawing, even digital images, they are hand drawn, is labor intensive, and they just said they were charming and engaging. So I immediately knew This was 100% AI, and I couldn't comprehend why, but I wanted to make sure that I wasn't being crazy, that I absolutely had proof that this was AI. So here's what I did to prove my case. I went to this place called copyleaks.com. I am not promoting any of these sites. I haven't used them before today. I just went and I got a bunch of AI scanning tools. I just Googled it and seen what came up, and I threw in their review. This came back as 100% AI content, and it talks about Grammarly, ChatGPT, and other AI models probably wrote this. And then it also told me where this was found, and this was found on my product review page, which of course makes sense because it's specifically about my book, but 100% of this program said was AI. Now I went to another AI detector. This one is Quillbot. And again, you insert your text. So I copied and pasted their review. And this one said that 81% of it is AI generated and maybe 19% is human written. So they thought the last paragraph was probably human written. And I disagree. I think the last paragraph was the most AI paragraph I heard, especially since I know charming and engaging. Let's just go ahead and look at my product page really quick. So you can see here, this says it's a charming illustration, and this also says the book is engaging. So that specifically pulled from my product description. Now I'm wondering, why did this person go ahead and it says it's a verified purchase, which means they probably bought the book or they downloaded it for free on one of my free giveaways, which I do all the time. Those often lately have been bringing in really negative feedback like this that's AI generated. And what I wanted to do first is verify without a shadow of a doubt that this was AI written. I know these programs are saying it's AI, but I just wanted to go ahead and play and see if I could figure out if it really was, without a shadow of a doubt, AI generated. So I went into ChatGPT and I asked ChatGPT, hey, can you write a review for Bethany Stahl's Save the Ocean children's book? And it gave me a review. So it talks about the story follows Finn, a young boy with a deep love for the ocean. This isn't true. The book is about Kalisha, who is a mermaid, and she has a friend, Agwe, who is a sea turtle. So this is totally made up by AI. This AI was talking about how my illustrations are the highlight of the book, and it's talking about appeal and the spark. And I'm like, okay, this is really, really interesting. Let me ask it to make it a 3 out of 5 star, just like this one was. Let's see what they said. So now they changed the tone a little bit. If we remove this paragraph right here about Finn, it reads really similar. So I'm going to read some excerpts about what ChatGPT decided to say about my book when I asked it to give it a 3 out of 5 star. It said, while Save the Ocean succeeds in presenting the issue of ocean pollution in a clear and accessible manner, its narrative feels somewhat predictable and lacks depth. The storyline follows a familiar trajectory without introducing unexpected twists or complexities that could further engage older readers or adults reading with children. Which, again, it is simple because it's intended for children to read on their own. It's intended for that young audience, so I understand that criticism. This is the sentence that really stuck out to me. Moreover, there's that word again. While the book encourages environmental awareness and action, it may not provide enough concrete guidance or real-world examples for children to feel empowered to take meaningful steps towards conservation beyond the story's conclusion. So, again, this is reworded the exact same way that review was presented. Literally, almost verbatim, put what that said. And again, overall, Save the Ocean is a visually stunning book with a commendable message about environmental stewardship. There we go, these big words again. However, it is limited narrative depth and lack of actionable guidance may leave older readers and adults wanting more substance. So this is really interesting because this has the exact same tone. It uses the same words to where I know this person or bot went to ChatGPT to generate a 3 out of 5 star for my book review. So I asked them to write it from a first person's perspective, since this review was left as a first person perspective, which often gives the illusion that since they're saying, I felt this way, I thought this, I thought that, we're like, oh yeah, this is definitely a person and not AI. So it rewrote it to say, I found the storyline somewhat predictable and lacking in depth. And this is really making it feel like, oh, this person read this book and is saying this. So this is really frustrating because it's something that cannot read my book, that doesn't know how to read my book, and is criticizing my book and my illustrations based on no real criteria. And I can even ask it, how did you generate the basis of this review? Can you see the illustrations or read the text? So here we have ChatGPT telling me exactly why it gave me that review and where it's pulling all this information from. It says it doesn't have the ability to see my illustrations and it cannot read my text Save the Ocean directly. So their responses are generated based on a mixture of licensed data, data created by human trainers, and publicly available data. So when providing a book review or any specific content-related response, I rely on a broad understanding of common themes, styles, and typical elements found in children's literature, including environmental themes and storytelling techniques. They don't know what techniques I used or what techniques I didn't use. They don't know how I illustrated it, which is why in the original review, they said, oh, wow, this book could have benefited from real-life pictures of coral reefs. That doesn't make any sense at all. But it does for an AI because that's how they're analyzing it, because they can analyze that it's a drawn illustration and they can understand that if they need to improve it, maybe you should take a real picture, because it is also giving reviews based on general 3 out of 5 star reviews of books. So if it's 3 out of 5 stars, generally the plot's not going to be very good. Maybe it's lacking in depth. Maybe there's not enough interiority. All of these things are very valid 3-star complaints. And the final statement here says the review was crafted to reflect a balanced assessment of what such a book might entail, based on general expectations and common features observed in similar literature. Which means I could be getting a review on Save the Ocean that is pulling from another book of similar source. So somebody out there may have a book with Finn, who is a recycling character in a similar book, that it's pulling to put and associate with this book, whereas someone else who has a similar style book might be getting the name Kalisha popping up because that's the name of my character. So this is really disingenuous and very harmful, not only to authors who are taking this seriously. Like I said, I take all my reviews seriously. I always want to improve as a writer. And when I see things that are issues, I contact my editors. I really do. When somebody's complaining about, hey, I didn't like this structure, I didn't like this, I didn't like that, I reach out to my editors and say, hey, I've gotten a few reviews that say this. When we do our developmental edit, can you help me look for issues here? And if not, I switch editors. Like, I take this very, very seriously. And if there's something to where there's any issues with the wording or syntax or anything like that, or ideas, I really, really consider that. And I make adjustments in my own personal business plan and in my own writing to better suit what my audience is looking for, because ultimately my readers are my most important people. I love writing these books, but ultimately these books are not intended for myself. They're intended for my readers. So this is really important. And when I'm presented with a nonsensical review that is confusing and keeps complimenting me, then criticizing those very same points, it leaves authors confused. And as a reader, if I'm somebody who wants to buy this book, I might look at this and go, oh, her illustrations sucked in this? Great, I don't want that one. Let me go to another one. I've also gotten AI models leaving these like 3 out of 5 star reviews, 2 out of 5 star reviews, I've only seen them generally about 3. Sometimes they're 2 out of 5 that are AI reviews. And then the lower ones always recommend another book. And my question is, what is the benefit for an AI to recommend another book? Is that just something that's being auto-generated or what? But the recommendation of another product in an Amazon review is actually against terms of service, because that review is disingenuous because you could be promoting that other product. So I can't go onto a Harry Potter book and be like, wow, this really sucked. I highly recommend reading Twilight instead. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is something that you cannot do, because that is not a fair review of the book. You're not reviewing it to give it its best review, criticism, highlights of the story. So this is so frustrating. And Amazon says they don't allow AI reviews. I've went ahead and reported this review to see if I can get it removed. So what can we do about reviews like this that are clearly AI generated? Well, they are, like I said, against Amazon terms of service. So you are also welcome to report them. And you're allowed to say that they're fake. This is a fake review. It's generated by AI. This was not a human who put any thought into the book, who put any thought into what this book really was about. All they did was either set up a bot or are using ChatGPT to generate lots of reviews to build their Amazon account. And this is something that you are able to click as fake, paid for, or it's inauthentic. And I know for a fact this is inauthentic because it's not a real person leaving a review. And then I'm welcome to submit it. Now, if you are getting AI reviews that are then recommending other products, like I've also been seeing, this is something that you can report as off topic as well, or just go ahead and do off topic if it's not an AI review, but it's somebody else who's promoting other products in your reviews. So this is something I've already submitted. This is really important, as if you guys are buyers and you're looking through reviews and you see that there are AI reviews or people breaking TOS, please go ahead and take the time to report reviews, because reviewing books is such a very valuable thing for readers and authors alike. This is really, really the foundation of what we have trust in. And if our trust is going to be altered by AI bots leaving generalized reviews, that sounds legitimate, because at first when I seen the review, I was like, wow, this person took a long time to leave a review. I'm going to read it. I have been sent, I've talked about this before, the worst and longest review I've ever been sent was somebody sent me a full-length 5-page paper on how much they despised my books. And that is something to where I read every single page of what this person was complaining about. And it's something that I do take very seriously. I do not agree with people who go and review bash because they don't like the person, because they're upset with something that the person did. I've had that happen with YouTube. If I haven't responded to a comment soon enough, I have seen reviews pop up on my books that are, oh, Bethany Stahl's character is horrible. And there's been things about my personal family on my books that have left and are still up on Amazon that people have called into question my family, and that they don't think I'm suited to be an author. All of these really, really horrible things and kind of terrifying things, if you think about, are up on Amazon. And I really despise reviews like that, because they're just not valuable to the author or the reader, because this is just, again, such an important part. I'm really, really hoping that Amazon implements something that perhaps scans for AI when leaving reviews and really gets on top of banning these sorts of reviews, because they are hurting the books. And I always say that reviews have the biggest impact on sales. And it's something I always can see my rise and fall in popularity truly based off of reviews and how frequently they're coming in. If I have frequent positive reviews coming in, my sales always reflect that. If I have one really bad, harsh, negative review come in, my sales plummet. One of the fake reviews I've gotten that Amazon refuses to take down is somebody who gave one of my books a 1-star review and claims that my books are complete garbage because they are printed overseas. And one, there are really fabulous overseas printers, but my books actually aren't printed overseas. They, well, unless you order from KDP over there. But if you are ordering from KDP and you're ordering one of my books, how that works is it is actually printed just for you and it's fulfilled in a printer nearest to you. So for me, I am in Tennessee and I often get my printer based either in North Carolina or Kentucky is where my printer is coming from for my books. So it wouldn't make sense for Amazon business wise for somebody in California to order a book from KDP and then ship one across the US from North Carolina. They're going to use a printer based in California or in a nearby area to ship to them to save on cost and shipping and all of that. So that's really frustrating to see as well. So the best thing we can do is look out for our fellow authors, report reviews that are clearly fake, that are inauthentic, that are recommending other products, and that are AI generated. Hopefully we can see something coming from Amazon where they are going to be sharing about how they're going to be working to prevent this, because this is just such a serious problem. And if these reviews keep coming up, it's only going to hurt us. And what also scares me in the back of my mind is because these AI reviews are often recommending other products as well at the end. And AI books are a big issue on Amazon right now, and accounts are getting shut down. And a lot of that is large part into flagging using AI in your work. And what I fear is if AI books take over the platform and then we have AI reviewers review bombing books in these sneaky ways of like 3-star, 2-star, 3-star, 2-star, 1-star, they're going to lower the average of the book and then recommend an AI book. It is just going to be a total awful thing for platforms because we're losing any genuine creation of content. And this is why I do advise, do not use AI generated images for your illustrations. Do not use an AI editor to edit your book. Grammarly, I've said in the past, is a good tool, but you always need an editor. If you want to use ChatGPT to help generate ideas, to maybe formulate some feelings or thoughts or just get opinions from it, sure, fine. But do not use it to write your book. Do not use it in replacement of a human editor, especially because now we have these softwares that are analyzing if it's AI or not, and you're going to get caught if you don't want people to know you're using AI. They can just run your book or your text through one of these scanners and it's going to be flagged for AI. And that's one of the ways Amazon is tracking down so many of these AI books and trying to get a handle on it is with these new programs that are tracking down what is AI generated and what isn't. And you may even see this on social media platforms. If you are using AI generated content in your images, it's actually already detecting that you're using AI and it's going to tell you have to flag your post with a warning that you used AI generated content. So be careful, be aware, and please, don't be upset if you receive a review like this in terms of taking it personally. This is a bot. They didn't read your book. Value reviews, but not reviews like this, because this has no value because it didn't read my book. It didn't read your book. And I see authors getting so personally attached to reviews. And I understand it's a hard thing. These books are very much a part of us. They're our heart and souls on a paper. Even children's books, from children's books to big old novels, it is our full heart and soul on that page. And reviews can really hurt and be detrimental to mental health. So this is one that I'm really telling you all, do not take them seriously because AI cannot read your book. At least not yet. Not in the way that it can buy and read and review. So please be safe, take care, and keep your eye out and keep reporting reviews to Amazon. Hopefully we can get this stopped. Thanks for listening. I will see you next time. And let me know, have you seen AI comments and reviews starting on your book reviews? I'd love to know.